What's up, everybody? We back with another video, another message from the Lord. This video is a little bit different, y'all, and I'm trying to get comfortable doing this because I've never done this before, and I like to explain all my steps and processes before I get into my video because I feel like it's important to understanding why this came to be. Again, thank you to all my new subscribers and future new subscribers. Let's keep it rocking and rolling and getting the truth out and doing what we got to do to be better this year. Okay. This video is about Sister Kerry-Ann. Now, how this came to be. Um, I remember looking at comments when I started doing Twitch's case, and the Lord had led me to a lot of different aspects, and then that's what led to my channel being out there a little bit more so, or not a little bit, a lot more so than what it was. And the assignment led me to a blessing that God had for me. So in that process, I had to deal with a lot of different pieces of questions and persecution, two different things going on. And some of the stuff that I saw were people mentioning other YouTubers or messengers or whoever they watched. They were bringing them into my comments and would say, have you seen this person? And I need to clarify something. I don't watch anybody unless God points something to me. And the people that I do watch and I'm subscribed to, the Lord had to give me multiple pieces of confirmation about this person. Like that he had to keep putting them in to my recommended a certain way in order for me to subscribe. And that's why certain people I know, okay, you're hearing from the Lord. But even people that I know are hearing from the Lord and went through a legitimate process with God, I still test what they say to the Lord because sometimes people may interpret wrong. Sometimes people may not be right. They might act on emotion sometimes. And we human. So anyway, taking me back to the whole Kerry-Ann, how this came to be, I asked the Lord about her because I'm like, okay, Father, what's going on with this person? And the Lord was expressing to me like, okay, go to these videos. So I went to her most recent videos about Damar Hamlin, and I began to like just look over them, and some of the stuff that she was saying did not match up to what God was telling me about his case. And I was just like, whoa, this is not good. Like, this could be very dangerous. And the Lord was expressing to me, he says, I need you to speak on it. And I said, Father, what? I'm just like, wait, I ain't never done no video like this before. And you know how people be. Like, I don't want to have people going back and forth, left and right. He says, no. He says, as your father, speak on it. I said, all right. All right, okay. When he tell me to do it, I do it. And that's what we're going to be going over, a couple of things there. And one other thing that popped up in my head, I don't know if y'all watched the video where I was talking about the teaching on testing the spirits. One thing that I said was, when you use the Bible verse declaring what a false prophet is, if something don't come to pass, that could be a reason of a false prophet, where I said that that's not the only reason. And I was explaining how, people need to go to God first in order to truly receive the accurate answers. He was leading me to that video. And I said in that video, certain people, could be appearing as real prophets by taking other people's prophecies and making them, and when they come to pass, now you believe that this person is for real because they have now taken a prophecy of another person that's come to pass. So yes, things might come to pass, but that doesn't mean the prophet is a real prophet. Am I calling Kerry-Ann a false prophet? I'm not saying directly she's a false prophet. But what I am saying is to take the word back to God with everything that you hear from any channel, because some of the things that she's saying does not line up with what God is telling me. This part, I'm making this cold open a little longer than usual because this is so dangerous. And it kept replaying in my head people can steal other people's prophecies and they can come to pass and be real. And they kept replaying and replaying and replaying. I've recorded this video the first time, but something told me to re-record it because the way that I did it, it was too passive. So I had to do it again. And dig into a little more research. So, all right, cold open over. We're going to jump into some things here, okay? So in her first video about Damar Hamlin, his situation, because that's the first situation we're going to talk about. She, some of us, sometimes we get on and we feel something in the spirit and we want to address. I personally will not get on here and speak on experience on things in situations because that can lead to people actually believing that this is a real narrative. So I don't ever do that. And I'll clarify in my videos if it's not something God told me, I feel, or I do believe. That's what I'll say, just to make it clear that that's not what God said. I make sure I do my best with that.
Now, some of you, what I'm about to say, some of you are going to tell Sister Kerry-Ann, I don't know. Because some of you live in Babylon, US, isn't it? And you know what's going on more than me, really and truly. But this Damar Hamlin, that guy, all right, that NFL young man who collapsed on the field, about 3 or 4 days or a week ago or something like that. Maybe a week ago, isn't it? I don't know. Brothers and sisters, I have to come on here and just talk about it. But something is resting on my heart. I feel troubled in my spirit. I have to be honest with you. I feel really, really troubled in my spirit. And you might say, Sister Carrie, you don't have any faith. Really, I do have faith. But I need to see him. I need for them to push him out in a wheelchair or something. I know he's tweeting, and they're saying that, he's tweeting from his sick bed and have FaceTime, and I don't know, brothers and sisters. I want to see them. What's his name, Damar? Until I see him come out of the hospital. Why am I saying this? Because there was a nurse, isn't it, in 2020 who took the moonshot live on TV, and she fainted, and nobody heard anything about her again. Everything was dismantled. So I don't know. That's what I'm saying. My spirit, I need to see him. I need to see Damar. I'm sorry. I need to see Damar Hamlin wheel out, discharged from hospital. Obviously, they're going to wheel him out in a wheelchair, isn't it, really and truly, because he's the heart attack and all of that. I need to see that. I have to see that. There's something, I don't know what it is. And I said to the Lord, why, obviously I did a video about this young man, and I believe that he has eaten a couple slices of the moon. I do believe he has. And the wicked knows it as well. And because this thing was live on TV and everything like that, I don't think, they're going to do the best to make it look not pretty, but to make it the recovery and everything like that. But we know that Yesiah is a great healer. He's the ultimate healer. I have no problem with the Most High, through his beautiful son healing. There's absolutely no qualms about that, because he is the great healer. That's no problem. But in my spirit, there's just something with Damar. I want to know. I want to see him. That's all I'm saying. When obviously you guys, you brothers and sisters in Babylon, US, you know the story. You'll probably see him before me. And I know brothers and sisters will send me an email. I want to know if his family came out and said anything since he's passed away. Passed away, oh my God, yeah. Since he's passed away, right? And came back to life, according to them, right? Like his parents, his brothers. The medics are coming out and saying stuff, and the coaches, and But I haven't seen anything because I did go online and look, type in Damar Hamel.
Her first video, that the Lord was leading me to pieces in, is when she says she came on here to talk about it because she felt trouble in her spirit. Okay. And just basically, just saying how she wasn't from Babylon, the current day Babylon, which is the US. Okay. And how, she just really was feeling like something was wrong, and how she said somebody sent her an email on him in the hospital sitting up in the bed. And she said, I just don't believe, it just doesn't sit well, and I don't feel right about it. Here's the deal. The whole point of his case was to show that these jabs the NFL players are taking. I didn't just talk about Damar Hamlin. I talked about Uche Neri, how he passed away, and they all connected to the jab. That's what the Lord led me to. So the whole thing with that, the reasoning is the enemy is trying to do the wrong with the jabs. She does acknowledge that through videos, okay? But in this first video, she's basically just saying, like, it's not something that God was expressing to her. She came on because she felt something was off, okay? Remember, she felt something was off. And she used a past experience about somebody else that she remembered passing out. And she didn't come out the same or something like that. And she says, I don't know. I just feel it in my spirit, stuff like that.
Don't sit right in my spirit, brothers and sisters. Now listen. So this politician in Kentucky, go research it yourself. I don't know his name. I think it's Kentucky. This politician came out couple days ago, 2 days ago. This politician posted on his YouTube that Damar is dead. And Damar had a heart attack 5 days ago. And the politician said he ain't coming back. But yet we see the media saying he's tweeting. He's on Instagram. He's doing FaceTime.
So, yeah. So in the second video, it's like she recognizes that God is possible for God to heal, but then, kind of leads toward this person, Damar Hamlin, that's whoever that is, like as if he died and they replaced him. Look, what God told me was Damar, his situation happened. If y'all saw what I said prior to these videos, newer about him, the Lord told me straight up, this happened on live TV because to show the world what I can do in the Great Awakening. This is a year of many blessings. And not even the first day of January, God ain't waste no time in saving a life. And he had a toy drive. Damar had a toy drive. So, that previous message which led to the kids getting non-demonic toys and stuff like that, God had a plan for that. So you got to think, if he had a toy drive for kids and the enemy hates kids, well, he got to go before that, No, God said absolutely not. And that's where I told y'all about the whole thing of going to God when it's good and bad in your life, rather than tragedies or potential tragedies happening. You always want to go to God. That was the whole message. If we can go to God as a country, as a grouping, we can do this on a daily basis. That was the message. But back to her, what she was saying. She does recognize the jab. She does, that is the main point of what happened to him. And then she goes to explain how, essentially by her saying that it's not him, that he essentially he died in that process. And now he's taken over by a demon. That's not what God told me. And it's other people, you got to ask yourself a question. Are you hearing, like when you hear things, how do you test the spirits? Do you go to prayer and wait patiently for God? You have to ask yourself, are you waiting patiently for God to answer your prayer and give you what is unknown to you? It does take patience. You can't just rush in. Before you speak on things, you got to make sure that you are patient and consistently in prayer so you can receive clear answers and make sure that you get the right confirmation. Okay, that's what I do. Before I did this video, I had to record it twice because I didn't really. I said, Father, I ain't never done this before. But yes, and when you have, is it a hunch? Do you feel that way, or is it a spiritual feeling of something trying to tell you something? Do you know what I'm saying? In order to figure that out, that it's not you and it's God trying to give you this alert in your spirit, you got to go in prayer regardless if you know or not before you do or say anything. I just want to make that so important because it's dangerous playing with the prophetic world, with the spiritual world. You cannot go on your own understanding and your own feelings. That's why God been having me do these teachings and saying this consistently. Like I didn't know why he was having me do it, but now I understand. So she goes to talk about the photo that he has in the hospital sitting up. Remember, he had cardiac arrest. It's a heart stoppage, y'all. Many people in the world has had their heart stop before, and they've recovered. So it's not impossible. He's 24. Especially when you got God working. So they're saying that he looks demonic. Look, let me tell you something. Based off her reaction in the video, like she just couldn't hold her phone and she was dropping it, I did not react like that. I didn't even feel any slight discomfort in looking at this video while God was explaining to me what was happening. It to me, and trust me, I have seen people that don't look like themselves, their eyes, everything when they are possessed and demonic. Celebrities get up there, they don't really be them performing all the time. They got those, what you call alter egos. We went over that in another video. Their eyes do be a little different. Their actions do be different. Like they don't be acting like they self. So you got to understand, like he has tubes and he in a hospital with stuff stuck in his skin, on a breathing machine. He about died. He not gonna smile. Who's smiling in that situation? He's been through it. I look at him and I see a man who has been through a lot and may not understand everything that's happened to him. He's kind of just like, I'm ready. He look like he ready to get up out that hospital. But because of the shadow and the shading of like people putting the photos together, of course he not gonna look the same and refreshed like he did on the field because he almost died. I don't feel that negative demonic spirit. God didn't even as much as mention death of him.
But this little boy was in the media almost every day. But it wasn't the media that was talking on his behalf. It was the mom. It was the mom literally coming out and saying, we need to pray when he's doing well, he's blinking. It was the mommy. Not the right now. Who is telling us what's going on with Damar? Yeah, it's the media. It is them. Can you trust them? No. So something isn't right. Something is amiss. I did that video, and brothers and sisters are agreeing and say, "Yes, Sister Kerry-Ann, you're absolutely right. There's something that's not right concerning this guy, because I truly believe he died on the pitch. I do. I truly believe that. When I screenshotted this photo, and I'm going to show you some shots. It went obviously into my gallery, isn't it? The Lord said, blow up the photograph. Pinch it so you can see what you're looking at. Obviously, pinched it, and he has his hands in a little heart shape, sort of thing. Brothers and sisters, the phone nearly fell out of my hands. When I look into this guy's eyes, mighty God of creation, my God. Those of you in Babylon, US, you know this Damar guy. I don't. Alright? Never heard about him. But listen to me. When I pinch that photo, my God, and I begin to look into this guy, the phone literally nearly fell out of my hands because I was looking at an entity. Do you hear what I said? I was literally looking at an entity. A higher never lies, brothers and sisters. He never lies. He cannot lie. I did the video yesterday, and I said to brothers and sisters, something is not right concerning this Damar guy. Something is desperately wrong. And they're tricking us. I do believe they're tricking us, brothers and sisters.
God wanted life manifested over this man. So, you know, the way she acted with that, like, that there was alarming to me because I'm like, that is not the feeling I got when I looked at this photo. I don't feel this. And you, for people that know me, you can also claim, or he claims to hear the Lord too, you know, because you may not know. That's why it's important to test the spirits. I'm not playing, y'all. Like, I'm like, that's a red flag to me because now this narrative is being painted of him being dead and being taken over demonically. What can I just talk to y'all about some common sense real quick? He has a toy drive. The enemy doesn't like children and wants to corrupt them. Why would somebody being used by the enemy fund a toy drive for kids that don't got nothing? The enemy don't care about that stuff. He wanted him gone, but God said no. Make it make sense to me. Why would the enemy, why would he die and then come back as a demon to deceive people? What use would that do? What good would that do? It makes no sense if God is trying to show people his works. Wouldn't the goal, the opposite of life, be death? The opposite of what God is trying to show be him dead? That's the original plan that the enemy had, and then the enemy wanted to sweep it under the rug by continuing the game so that it wouldn't be done on live TV and people wouldn't be like, oh my God, what happened? We're seeing this on live TV rather than hearing it from the sideline. The game stopped. God worked and stopped all distractions so we could see what was going on with these jabs, so we could see that God was working on this man's life to do something greater. Okay, so let's go to our third video. This is where I heard God say something. So one of the things he said, this photo that they conjured up on him, it's like the way she speaks on him is like that isn't him. That's the demonic, like, what is this disgusting thing, like her tone, and it's like, what? No, like, and then she begins to describe a YouTube put a bug on her view count, and she says these words: you may not see it, but when I woke up, she explains the story, well, you may not see it, but I see it. And I know, and it's like, okay, when you're going through spiritual warfare, a lot of people are not going to see your spiritual warfare. You have to tell them most of the time. The only spiritual warfare you truly see is comment sections or videos being made about people that's really attacking them consistently. And I know it's going to be people that be like, oh, you attacking. I'm not attacking. I'm comparing what God has told me to what she's speaking to everyone.
And I said that this is not God. It ain't him. Brothers and sisters, YouTube have put a bug on that video. You may not see it, but when you click on the video, you probably see the view count as 5,400 or 5,000, not even 5,005, maybe 5,400, 5,000, probably 500. All right, you can see that view count. But the true reading that I can see, in my, we call it the analytical view, where YouTubers who put contents out, we go into analytical, we look at what's going on. I want you to listen to me very carefully, because this has never ever happened to my channel before. Yes, I know that the wicked and they do stuff, but this is just going too far. So when I put that video up yesterday, the last count before I went to my bed, because I was liking and communicating with brothers and sisters, 3 hours, sorry, I'm not doing the 666, but 3 hours after I put the video up, before I went to bed, the view count on the video for 3 hours was about 4,500 views. So yeah, it's okay, we're doing pretty well, right? 4,000, remember 3 hours, yeah? 4,500 views were coming up. All right, doing well. So went to my bed, shut off everything. Now I told you that the Lord sometime wake me up, or I wake up myself, and I'll pray about 3:30, 4 o'clock in the morning. So I woke up about 3:30, quarter to 4-ish, right? And I began to pray. And after I finished pray, had a little devotion and stuff like that. And then sometime I'll go on me YouTube or, whatever. So I went on my YouTube, all right, and I'm in my analytical because I can see the YouTube studio, they call it the YouTube studio. 9 hours in the video, because remember, I know I'm repeating myself, but just bear with me. 9 hours into the, remember, 3 hours after I shut off, go to my bed, the view count was 4,500. So 3:30 in the morning, 4 o'clock-ish, went back, going to analytical, talking to some of the brothers and sisters, and I don't know, I just checked, because I don't normally check my view count, to be honest with you, but Lord said just check your view count. So check my view count, and it was 9 hours now. 9 hours. So 3 hours have gone, 4,005, 9 hours. So I saw the view count 2,100. I said, okay. I said, what's going on? I said, I'm sure I'm not sleeping. I'm sure I left, 4,005. So I came out of analytical and went on my normal YouTube page that you guys can see to watch me. And the view count is 5,400. So I'm saying, hang on, 5,400. I know I'm not silly, because when I was going to my bed, in my analytical, it was 4,005. So I said, okay. I said, maybe, there's a little glitch with you. Let's give them a bypass. It's a little glitch. So I didn't think much of it or anything. Brothers and sisters, this morning when I woke up, got in 7 o'clock, getting my babies ready to go to school and everything like that. I just said, let me go back and check. When I went back into my analytical, the view count was 600.
She has a lot of following, y'all. That's dangerous. Because, like, let's say you looked and felt the same thing in your spirit, but that wasn't true. Now you are covering up God's works because you're saying that he's really dead. Well, that's the opposite of life. Like, that would then mean God didn't do a miracle. What? You get what I'm saying? No. That is not what God is telling me. And so when she starts talking about her view count being stuck and videos not, I'm not saying she need to show proof of it, but the one thing I heard in my spirit when God said, or when she was saying about her view count freezing, God had said to me, my warning. When I watched that part, he said, my warning. And I was like, what? And I replayed again, and I heard her talking about her view count freezing, and it went from like certain amount of views to like 60 or 600, whatever. And the Lord said, my warning. My warning. That's what he said. You got to understand that I'm not saying it is impossible for YouTube content creators to not do things to your videos. They will. Trust me. They'll let you know they're watching you. But a lot of people get banned and stuff too on top of that. Let me give y'all the experience. On my old channel, and I can actually show y'all this. Old channel, my other channel, when I first started doing messages, God, in the content creating world, God had bypassed the YouTube, and he told me this, he bypassed the YouTube system to get rid of people that were watching my channel. And I can actually, I think I'm gonna pull, instead of showing y'all a screenshot, I'm gonna show y'all the piece of that video and show y'all. That thing said negative 21 subscribers gained to me. You knew the cost. Me, I knew the cost. You lost a good chunk of not a good chunk, but a decent number of following. But the negative, I said, well, what is this like negative stuff? Like negative 12, it was negative 20. He says, this is what he told me. And what I told y'all, he was gonna reveal the enemies. He said, I got rid of accounts that somebody had on your channel. I got rid of accounts that the enemy had watching you from different directions, audio count. So this is what he said. Somebody was just implanting because you have them like blocked or something, or you have them like something like where they can't directly. They can't do nothing to you directly. So they're going to plant these seeds in your following to try to discourage you. So basically he was saying he got rid of all of them. That's where this negative came from. He says, and all the people, when you start talking about me, he said himself, those that energies, the people that was following you for the wrong reasons are gone.
Like uploading videos, the views are not like registering. YouTube already acknowledged it, emails and stuff like that. So I probably will have to go another day without posting the video. I will about, I've been on YouTube for a long time, and I've never seen something like this. So yeah.
He says judgment is coming. So he's going to bring the truth out. Judgment is coming. He's talking about all this stuff being done. The Lord said judgment is coming because people are deceiving with the methods they're using. Certain people are purposely, you know, the ones that's trying to spread the narrative. He's bringing judgment and spreading light to the dark, bringing out the truth, okay? That's why it's always important to test the spirits. And I'm going to tell y'all, always take back what people say back to God. Test the spirits. And even what I say. You know what I'm saying? That's the whole point. God wants you to come back and seek that confirmation. So now we're going to get I've never seen that in my life. And I was doing messages for God, but it wasn't like, you know, it wasn't like an attack. Like there were people watching the channel that shouldn't be on there with duplicate accounts just in case I caught one. God got rid of them instantly. So God or the enemy won't just be the only thing that will stop your YouTube stuff. God will give you warnings or stop you from doing certain things and make the outcome of your videos not be what you desired, to show you you're wrong, like you shouldn't be doing this. Stop. He doesn't want people to see. You know, I hope y'all are understanding where I'm going with this. This is why it's important to test the spirits. Her fourth video talked about, again, the media and the coverage of the media, how the family, you know, again, prior, she talked about the family wasn't coming out and speaking, but how the media is covering no video proof, but like photos and stuff. And it's like, well, the media doesn't want to recognize God's works. The devil is in control of this mass media. You have to understand, like, he's not going to allow God's work to be recognized as much as he possibly can. He don't want it to be shone upon. But he's quick to give video evidence on Takeoff's case when he gets shot and show that shady stuff or all this other stuff going on, you know, all these narratives. But he don't want to shed a lot of light on what God has done here, because then that would mean that God really does exist to the people that don't believe it. Y'all got to realize we're in the end times and God is about to do miracles in this world, miracles in these seasons. He's been warning me of this stuff and many others, I'm sure. So the problem that comes with this video and what she's speaking on is she started off saying, she literally said, God did not tell her to get on there and speak on what she felt. She got on there and spoke what she felt. And then she has a lot of inconsistency where she says, well, I don't know. She says sometimes, or, you know, I feel in my spirit, and I'm not saying that God's work is impossible, but I still feel. It's not about what you feel. We can feel a lot of things. It's about what God told you to come on here and say as a real prophet from the Lord. Because if you do that, you can deceive people. Do y'all understand? Go back and go look at those videos. Where are you? Where did God tell you to get on and do that? I'm not understanding where God told her to come on this YouTube and speak on his case in this light. Because I will not forget this part. She says, she goes to say, I don't want to say that God's works and miracles aren't possible through this man. But then she goes to say that's not him and he's dead. This is a demonic, I don't know who that is on the bed. So what are you saying? Are you saying that he's dead, or are you saying that it's possible God worked through? What are you saying? You're not giving, I'm not, this is the problem. This is not the only thing. Like I told y'all, God put things on my heart and my spirit, and he will physically or literally speak to me. Okay? And in order for you to know who is real out here and who is not, y'all need to be testing the spirits in legit long prayer and paying attention. Open your open your eyes, open your ears, because the Lord is trying to show you things and speak to you. Do y'all remember me saying that in one of my videos? I'm trying to tell y'all what God has been telling me, and I preach it. I say this every video. I don't even like to tell people and give people proof of myself, because I don't want you to look at me for confirmation. I want you to go to God first. Because sometimes people will be asking me about their fate and stuff. I say, no, I don't play with that. You go to God, and if God give me a message to give to you, it may not be by name, but it might be overall for many people. I'm telling you, you don't even really hear me call myself a prophet. I just come on here and do a message. I don't do a, God called me what he want to call me. I'm just doing his works. I'm doing what he's asking of me. Y'all need to be careful on who y'all are listening to in these hours, because there's a lot of blessings that can be blocked if you listen to the wrong thing. The first video I did, I was way too passive. And then when God gave me secondary confirmation and a more stern confirmation, I'm just not going to play it. I'm not going to play it. Test the spirits and pray to God for every single thing, because it's God's works are being shown, and the enemy is going to work through people to block that and make you think, oh, this ain't it, that ain't it, that's not him, this not him. People going to be receiving things in these hours. Thank you, Holy Spirit. People going to be receiving things in these hours, and and then when these people who have been long waiting for blessings come through, it's going to be people that's going to be like, this is the works of the enemy. The people ain't going to be receiving this. There's no way people receive that. This is not of God. And try to make people feel bad for receiving blessings as well. So you got to test the spirits. I keep telling y'all, go to God. Go to God. Because if you just think on your own, you are going to be so messed up. And I know not a lot of people are confirming their own thoughts, like this. They just trying to figure out what's going on. But I don't do it bouncing back and forth to people's channel. Even what I say, take it back to God. Please take it back to God. I don't do nothing without him. But this ain't making sense. Please tell me y'all can understand what I'm saying. I'm not attacking a person. I'm just, from what I'm hearing and what God has told me, it's not adding up. Something is really off. This isn't even a prophecy. This isn't a word. She's just speaking. And then she says, the Most High won't lie. He won't lie. The Most High won't lie. And that's why the truth will always be revealed. I will not forget hearing back what I said about people will steal other people's prophecy, and when they come to pass, people will believe that prophet is true. But the only way for you to know the truth is if you seek God. He keeps replaying that. I kid y'all not. I didn't even know and realize until after I saw all this, what God was giving me the importance of doing, and why he gave me the lesson on people coming to me trying to test the spirits on me. Like, I didn't get why all this was happening to me. But that's because he told me, he said, many people, I told y'all in Twitch's case, God coming through and going after the people that's using spiritual methods or just different things to report on these cases. He told me in that dream, like, he let me know, like, it's so dangerous out here. Okay, so this one part about Twitch's case as well, the Lord led me to, I almost forgot. I ain't gonna lie. She mentions that Allison was a handler, and it came to her spirit.
It came to his house. Yes, Lord. Okay. The fallen angels were given orders. This thing is getting deep. Thank you, Lord, for the revelation. I hope people are listening. I really hope people are listening. The two fallen angels that went to Twitch home. Because remember, the person that sent them have control over these demonic beings, because they were sent through the occultic, through voodoo, through witchcraft. The fallen angels were given orders. And one of the order was, when you go to the house, do not hurt the wife or the children. Because if they don't do that, because the spirit, isn't it? The demons, but the evil spirit, the fallen ones, fallen angels. So they don't have the capacity like human being to say, oh, that's a little baby, I'm not going to hurt. They just, anything, they're destructive. Anything in their way, they just kill them or hurt them. But they have to give orders. So the person who sent the fallen angel to Twitch house, because it's a blood sacrifice, that's what it is, please understand that. These fallen angels were given orders: when you go to the house, you do not hurt the wife, you do not hurt the children. It's Twitch. Deep, isn't it? 22. A higher gave me the vision. Because I think that maybe, I don't know, some people who watch this channel think, oh, what's she talking about? So Higher is speaking. And he gave me the vision. And in the vision, like I say, oops, there's this piece of fluff. I saw her saying that Ellen DeGeneres and her, well, she said Ellen DeGeneres and I did it. And it's same thing read on the screen, the information screen that's going forth. Did what, really? I'm not interpreting my vision. So I give the vision as it is, brothers and sisters. And you're absolutely more than welcome to whatever the Lord placed on your heart, whatever you believe it means, then please share it in the comment section. I give the vision as it is, brothers and sisters. And you're absolutely more than welcome to whatever the Lord placed on your heart, whatever you believe it means, then please share it in the comment section. Let's do the top 20, and then the powerful video that I did concerning Twitch wife. Twitch wife, all right? When the Lord revealed to me who she is and that she's of the serpent bloodline, that's who she is. And let me just quickly say this, actually. Let me just quickly say this. I know time is going. And thank you so much for sticking out and watching the video, because I know they're quite long. When I did that video yesterday, and I revealed that the Lord told me that Twitch wife is from the serpentine bloodline. Few comments, you can see them. Poor guy. Poor kid. Poor guy. Brothers and sisters, there was nothing mentally wrong with Twitch. Nothing mentally wrong with him. I don't know much about the wife, but I'm going to tell you what the Lord placed in my spirit concerning her. Because since I was reading up this morning, if you have said anything about Hebrew, Israelites and all of that, this is what came in my spirit when I saw her and I look at her and I'm trying to read her in the spirit. She's a handler. That's what I heard in my spirit. She's a handler for him. You see, the thing about this is that, and this is the reason why I said it before, and I'm going to say it again. Many interracial marriages is going to come to a halt, not because you want to end it. No. Not because you want to end it, but because it's the work of the Most High. Because what the Lord is doing, and exposing and gathering his people. Some of these interracial marriages are hindrances, not all of them. Doing and exposing and gathering his people. Some of these interracial marriages are hindrances, not all of them.
Now, one time that Allison, being a handler, come to my spirit.